Hi friends, welcome to this channel Data Science with Rahul. So in today's video we are going to discuss about the Python data types, correct? What are these data types? Why we need them? What is the importance of that? So we are going to discuss the 10 different concepts in depth, correct, in this video. So stay tuned till last to understand and get expertise on data types of the Python, okay? So now let's discuss first what we are going to learn. So we'll learn what are the Python data types are, what is the numerical data types, string data type, list, tuple, range, dictionary, Boolean data types, how do we convert, okay, one data type to another data type, and there are different conversion functions, correct? So these 10 concepts we are going to discuss in this video in detail, so stay tuned till last, okay? So now let's start with the first, what are the data types? Now when we are talking about the Python data types, okay, they are basically, okay, they are the type of variables only, okay, but these types of variables we have categorized into different buckets, okay, that is the meaning of that. So what it defines is what type of the data we are going to store in the variable. Now based on this bucketization has been done because the data is stored in the memory, because whatever the data type, accordingly the memory allocation happens. So it is a very much important for us to know what kind of data type it is, okay? So for an example, person is stored as a numerical value, okay? If somebody is putting a age in letters, that means there is a problem, okay? His address, his or her address will be alphanumeric. It can have numbers, it can have letters also. So now this kind of categorization we should be mindful of while understanding these data types. Now, Python has certain inbuilt data types, okay, which we will discuss in this tutorial or in this video. Okay. Now, what are those? The first one is called the numeric, which are the numbers. Okay. So in this we have the integer, float, and complex. We will discuss in detail what are these. Okay. Then we have the string. We call str. Okay. Strings are nothing but we put in a double quotes or single quotes. Correct. So which is basically like a commands, okay, in simple words. Sequence, we can have a certain sequence, we can have a list, tuple, range, correct? So these are the few Python inbuilt data types. Binary, we can have the binary, byte array, memory view, okay, these are the different inbuilt functions. Mapping, we can have the dictionary, we want to map, okay, this to this, that to this, correct, some sort of a table, okay, like match the following we used to do in our childhood, similar to that. Then we can have the booleans, okay, whether it's a true, false, like that, boolean only true, 0 1, like that, okay. And then we can have the sat, okay, we have the sat, frozen sat, like that. And then we have the none type, okay, nothing, so we are not defining anything, we call none type. So now these are the different data types that we are going to discuss in detail, okay, and how to convert from one to another in this video. So let's continue our journey. The first one is the numerical data type. Now Python numerical data type stores numerical value only, okay. So and number objects are created when you assign a value to them. For an example, if I say variable 1 equal 1, that means it's an integer. Okay. Automatically it is assigned in the memory. Variable 2 is a 10, it's an integer, automatically assigned. Variable 3 is a float, it's a decimal, means float. Okay, so it is assigned. Now all these are the numerical numbers. Okay. Now there are four type of numerical numbers Python supports. What are those? The first one we call integer. Okay, we call signed integer. Signed means, see, there are two kind of integer in the computer language. One we call signed and another we call unsigned. Okay, unsigned meaning is they are the positive numbers only. Okay, signed meaning is basically it has the negative as well as the positive, both. Okay, so we call those are the signed integer. Second thing is called the long integer. So we have the short integers, long integer. Okay. See, because in the memory, like everything that you write need a 8 bytes. Correct. Now, if it is a more than, it can have 16 byte. It can have 32 byte. Correct. it can have 64 bytes like that. Okay, so now these are called the long integers and these are called the small integers. Okay, so we can have basically octal and hexadecimal format also. Okay. Third thing is the float. Float means decimal basically. It can support the decimal numbers also. And the last one is called the complex number. You would have learned in the math. Okay, like a plus ib. I is the complex part, a is the real part. Okay, so these are the four data types which the Python is supporting. Like now we'll discuss the example of this. So here is basically the long list that you can see. Okay, so here you can see the integer which has the positive as well as the negative also, correct? And these are the other hexadecimal or other things. Long, okay, here we use the capital L, remember. We can use a small l also. This is just to demonstrate that it is a long number, okay. We can use the small l also, but it is advisable use capital L, okay. So these are the long. Floats means decimals numbers, okay. So you see the decimals and the complex number where the instead of I, like you have a format like a plus bj, like that. J is showing it's an imaginary part. So these are the four data types which the Python is supporting, correct. Now the next thing is Python allow, yeah, this we discussed, okay, yeah. Now, so these are the few programs. For an example, this is an integer variable a equal 100, and if I print here type of variable having a is type A. So type A is basically a command which tells you what kind of variable it is. So we can print that and we can identify. So if I put a type A, it will say okay, it is basically an integer. Okay. Now float variable, similar way, it is a decimal. So if I print, we should get a float. It's a complex number. So 10 plus 3j. So if I type C, I should get a basically what kind of this. So what will be the output for this? Complex number, correct? Now the Python string data types. What are the Python string data types? They are identified as a contiguous set of character represented in quotation mark. So anything like this, single quote, or we can have the double quotes also, correct? So both are allowed, single quote or double quote. Okay. And if we want to use or find any particular letter in that string, okay, or subset of that string, we can use the slice operator. Okay, we will discuss in the next slide the examples. Remember the indexing in this starts from 0. Okay, so in few programming languages it starts from 1, but here in the Python it starts from 0. So that means if I am going from this to this side, it is starting from 0, and if I am going from this side, I can start from -1, correct? So from the end -1, from this 0. So for an example, I say A, B, C. Let's say this is in single quote. Now this index will be 0, this index will be 1, this index will be 2. I can also write this as -1, -2, -3. So anyway indexing we can use. Indexing is a very useful concept and we should be very familiarized with this. Okay. We'll discuss more about this in down the line. So plus sign in the string indicate concatenation. Concatenation means you are adding something. Okay. So I can add, let's say, PQR, okay, with plus ABC, like this. Okay. So this plus sign is indicating that add this. It's a concatenation. Asterisk is basically is the repetition of the repetition operator in the Python. Okay. So let's see the examples directly. So let's say this is the string hello world and I print this entire string, print this string, and I get an entire string. If I say 0, what is 0 will be? So 0 we will get H, only the first letter. Starts from here. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like this. So if I say 2 to 5, see, remember we are using which operator? So this is basically slicing operator we are using, like a bracket, and we are saying it starts from 2 to 3, 2 to 5. So that means it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will print like that. Okay. Now string 2 and then semicolon and nothing is written. That means till end, whatever is there, just print it. So print starting character is third and then print everything. If I put asterisk mark, that means repeat the entire string 2 times. So I will get a hello world, like that. A string plus test. Plus is the concatenation we just now discussed. And so that means you will get a hello world and then you will get a test. Okay. Now let's see what the outcome comes. So this will produce this. So I will get hello world. Then I will get a H. I will get a LLO because it starts from 2 to 5. Remember, so HE is not printed because this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is the 5? 5 was the space. Space is also counted as a one letter. Then we get a hello world from 2 till end. Remember? So we get a 2 till end. 2 till end. Then we get a hello world 2 times and then hello world test. So this is basically the result that you are going to get. Correct? So now Python, now the next thing is called a list. In the Python, list is the most versatile compound data types. It's a most versatile, frequently used data type. Okay. Now it contains the items are separated by comma and we enclose them in the square bracket. Okay. So it's square bracket and put anything a1, a comma 1 comma 3 comma anything whatever you want. Okay, it is some extent similar to array, okay, that we have learned in the C programming or in any other programming, but there is a subtle difference. What is the difference? In the C or in the array, you can have the similar data type only, similar data type. That means if I have an array, okay, that means it will, if it has integer, it will have integer only. If it has float, it will have float only. You can't have mix. But in Python list, you can have a mix. You can have integer, float, string, everything in a single list. Okay. Wow, such a beautiful thing, isn't it? So this is basically we call it the list. Okay. Now the value stored in the list again we can access using the slice operator. Okay. And here also the index start from 0 from the beginning and from the end start with a -1. Similar concept as we discussed previously. Correct. So plus sign indicate the concatenation and asterisk sign include the repetition. So again same example. So if I print like A, B, C, D, so let's say this is the list and this is a tiny list. So if I print a list, I'll get a complete everything. If I print 0, what I should get? List 0. So this entire thing is a 0. Remember. So I will get A, B, C, D. List 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3. So I will get these 3. Correct? List 2 to till end. So that means from here I will get till end here. Correct? Next is tiny list. So tiny list asterisk is 2. That means print this line 2 times. So you will get a 1, 2, 3 John, 1, 2, 3 John, like that. And then we put a list plus tiny list. Combine both of them. So it concatenate. That means here you will get 1, 2, 3 and John also. Correct? That will be your final outcome. So this is basically the data list type. Correct? So this is what the result that you will get. Correct? The same thing that we discussed. Okay. Now next thing we call is the tuple. What is tuple is basically? Tuple is the another sequence data type which is similar to a list, but there is a difference. What is the difference? Okay, that first we also put tuple by separated by a comma all the values, but they are enclosed in a parenthesis like this, not in the square bracket. Okay. Now the second, the basic difference from here is, okay, lists are enclosed in a bracket and their element and size can be changed. You can change the size of a list. List size, list sometimes, okay, we call they are mutable. Okay, that means their size, their content can be changed if required. Whereas the tuples are enclosed in parentheses and we cannot update them. They are immutable. You cannot change their value. Okay. So you can say they are the read-only list only. You cannot write in that. Once they are defined, you cannot do that. Let's see certain example. So let's say this is basically a tuple. I put, see, how do we identify whether it's a tuple? You say and see this bracket. So if it's the bracket is the parenthesis bracket, then it's a tuple. If it's a square bracket, then it's a list. Okay. So we have two tuples. So if I print the tuple, you will get exactly same. Again, 0, that means you will get a B, C, D. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that means you will get a from here till here, correct? And tuple 2 to end, so till from here till here you will get. If I multiplied by 2, that means this you will get 2 times. And if I add both of them, that means this will get added at the end. Okay. So these are basically your examples for tuple. Now what is the result? The same thing. Okay. Now one more thing that we should be, like I just now discussed, that tuple we cannot change. Correct. So let's see the example. What is the meaning of that? So let's say this is basically your syntaxes. So you have a tuple and you have a list, correct? Let's say I would like to change this. So this is a 0, this is a 1, this is a 2 in both. I would like to change this 2.23 value to some other value. If I put a tuple, correct, tuple, and if I change the second one as 1000, I will get an invalid syntax. It is immutable. You can't change. It's a read only, na? You cannot write. You cannot edit. Whereas if I take the list, it will say, wow, I have changed it. And here in the list, you will get basically this is getting replaced by this. Correct. That is the basic difference between tuple and the list. Okay. Hope that is clear. Next is the Python range. Okay. What are the Python ranges? Now range is basically are the inbuilt functions in the Python which are returning the sequence of numbers. Okay. Starting from 0 and increment to 1 until it reaches to a specified number. What is the meaning of that? See, generally we use this range function, okay, whenever we are doing looping. Okay, we will discuss more about looping down the line. So let's say the syntax. Syntax is the range, which is an inbuilt function. You will say start, stop, and step. Correct? So triple S. Start, stop, and step. Correct? That's how we should remember. Now let's see here. Start meaning is from where you want to start. Okay. Remember it's an optional. Default value is 0. Stop where you want to stop. It's a mandatory because program cannot define for you where you want to stop. You need to tell that program. Correct. And then increment by default it's a 1. If you want to change, you can change it. Okay. Now let's see few examples. Correct. So let's say if I am printing this I in range 5. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is, just now we discussed, if you would write only one value, correct? What is means? What is this? This is an stop, correct? Stop. So it starts from where? It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, correct? It will plot 5 numbers and starting from 0. So what is the output you will get? You will get this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? 5 numbers you will get. Okay. Now let's modify this program and instead of printing the number starting from 1, okay, because I want to print from 1, not from 0. What should I do? So I will say 1 starting and end at 5. Increment 1 only. Correct? So what is the result I will get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. But let's say I want to increment something else. Increment of 2. Correct? So what I will define? I will define start from 1 and at 5 and increment of 2. Correct? So what the number I will get? Starting from 1. So 1 will come obviously. Then skip 2 numbers. So I will get a 3. Then skip one more number 5. See 5 it has to be less than 5. Correct? It cannot be equal to 5. So only you 2 answers 1 and 3. Correct? Yeah. Next thing is called a dictionary. What is dictionary is? See, dictionary is are kind of tables. Okay, they work like an associative array or hashes. Okay, that we found in the Perl language or the key value pairs. What is the meaning of that is? See, Dictionary key are almost like any Python type, but they are usually numbers or a string. Okay. So let's see the example. Now dictionary, how do we define is we define like by a curly braces. So let's say this is the dictionary, which is basically the empty dictionary. Now I am saying dictionary, which is a 1, this is a 1, dictionary 2, this is a 2. Okay. So I have defined the two dictionaries. Okay. Dictionary as 1, dictionary as 2. Okay. Now if I plot this, so I will get directly, okay, print value for this is you will get a 1. Print value for this is you will get a 2. Correct. Now tiny dip. Now see here, this is basically the key, key. Correct. So how do we define dictionary? We define dictionary like this, and then we write a key, we put a semicolon, and we write a value. Correct. And both of these should be in a quotes. Correct. And then put a comma, again same thing, key, semicolon, value, this is column, correct? And then again comma, and you keep on writing. So this is how basically we write the Python dictionary. Okay, so this will produce this result. Now Boolean type. What is Boolean type? Is Boolean means truth or false, correct? They are the truth or false function. This allow you to evaluate the value of any expression, return whether this is a true or false based on certain condition that you have already inputted, correct? Like example. So if I say A equal true, remember this is not in quote, okay? It will tell yes, it's a true. Okay, display the data type of this, print type A, what you should get? You should get a Boolean, correct? So let's say if I put, you say class Boolean, correct? Now this program, let's say return, so if I say A equal to B equal 4, print bool, A is equal to B. Are they equal? No, they are not equal. So I will say I should get a false. Okay. Following also print the same, print A equal B, correct? What should I get? I should get a false. Okay, I should get a false because here I have done a two operation. This is direct. Okay, return now A equal none. Print boolean. Correct. Why? Is this a true? No, this is a false. So I should get a false. A equal empty. Correct. So boolean A. Why? Because it's an empty sequence. So we should get a false. Nothing is there. See, true meaning something is there. False means nothing is there. That is also. Correct. Now if I put a 0 and if I put a boolean, it's a 0. That means it's a false. 0 is false, 1 is true. Correct? So now if I put a equal 10 and boolean, okay, return false because A is 10. Okay. So this is basically the boolean type, data type. So you get a false, false, false. Okay. Last one is true, yes. Last one will be true. Correct? Last one will be true because A is 10, yes, and true. It has some value. Yeah. Now we can convert these data types from one type to the another type. How? Okay, because sometimes we need them, okay, to convert them. So we can convert integer. For an example, let's take. So this integer. So I have the number and I'm converting. I will write the syntax that what I want to convert to. I want to convert this number to integer. So I will get a 1. Convert to integer, I will get a 2. Convert to integer. See, this is a string. This is a string basically. I'm converting to integer. So if I print, what should I get? 1, 2, 3. Correct? Correct. Now conversion to float. Same thing. So if I have this float, I will get a 1.0. This will remain 2.2. This will convert to 3.3 even though this is a string. Remember, this is in double quotes. Correct? Don't think like, oh my god, this is 3.3 only. Na? So it is printing the same. No, it's in different data types. So I should get this example. Convert to string. Suppose I want to convert to string. So what should I get? I should get a double quote like this. Correct. In the answer, you will not get a double quote. The meaning this is a string. I cannot do further mathematical operation on this, on ABC. Okay. String, if I do 2.2, I will get in quote. 3.3, I will get in quote. Correct. That is the meaning. So if I plot, I should get this. Now there are few functions which are available to convert these data types from one to another, because we don't want to write all the times code to convert them, correct? What are those? So we can convert like integer, we can convert long, we can convert float, x to floating point, we can create a complex number, convert to string, correct? There are multiple data types, correct? An object to an expression string, evaluate a string, convert to a tuple, convert to a list, convert to a set, create dictionary, correct? Convert to a frozen set, convert to an integer, convert an integer to the Unicode, single character to its integer value, hex value, oct value, correct? So these are the different basically data types that we have discussed till now. So let me summarize all the data types, correct, that we have learned in this video, correct, so that it is clear that okay, whether we have learned the 10 concepts or not, okay, that we were discussing initially. Yeah. So Python data types done. Python numerical data types, yes, done. String data types done. Correct. Python list done. Tuple done. Ranges done. Dictionary done. Boolean data types done. Data type conversion done. Data type conversion function done. Correct. So hope we have discussed these 10 concept in this video. Hope this video would have given you enough insight. Keep practicing this, correct, on Jupyter notebook. So and if you have any doubt, any query, please type in the comment box and I will be able to help you. Okay. Thank you. Stay tuned till last. Okay. Stay tuned. Okay, for more videos, and subscribe this channel, share with your friends so that this data science knowledge can be reached to multiple people. Thank you very much. Thank you.